What's up everybody? So this is Trill and I'd like to introduce you to my Q&A. First off, I want to say I hope everybody's staying safe. I know there's this coronavirus going on, so everybody stay inside, be safe, try not to get sick. First thing I want to do before I even get into this Q&A, I want to say shout out to Ikan. This is a autofocus, a motorized autofocus. I gotta have it at every shoot now. I don't even want to shoot any type of video without it. Yeah, I had got it off of Amazon at a decent little price. Ooh, you see it right there? Yeah. So I got it off of Amazon for a nice little price. I think it was $2.49. I'll put a link down in the description. It brought my video production up to a whole nother level. Like I said, I don't want to shoot without it. I love it because it's wireless, and battery life is like terrific. Few shoots, I can just keep it on the whole day for about maybe 4 or 5 hours, and it hardly ever run out of battery. So I really highly suggest that you guys go get a follow focus like this. But anyway, so let me just go ahead and get right to it. Okay, the first question I got, and this is a very common one that I always get. Someone asked, they was wondering what kind of name brand lens do I have and what kind of Sony picture profile do I use. Okay, so as some of y'all may know, and if y'all don't know, I used to use the Sony a7S II. I'm actually recording off of it right now. I actually switched to the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Yeah, I just got this like a couple days ago, and I actually used it yesterday for the Sauce Twins video last night. I guess I'll go into the pros and cons of it. I love it, but there's still some things I kind of don't like about it, but I'll get into that some other time. The brand of lens that I use is Nikon glass, bam. So 50 millimeter or 1.4, it's a full frame lens. And I also have a 24 prime lens, Nikon as well. I'm actually using that right now. Full frame, 1.8. I use those two lenses, and the reason why I'm Nikon is because I started out with Nikon. This is the first actual video camera I ever used to shoot videos, because I was a photographer at first, and I started out with Nikon back in like 2009. And this is a Nikon D600, by the way. That's the only reason why I use Nikon lenses, because it's good glass, and you know, I didn't want to get a Sony and go buy a bunch of Sony lenses when I already had Nikon lenses. That wouldn't have made no sense. The picture profile that I use for my Sony, with any Sony, I've used the Sony a7 III recently, and like I said, the a7S II, I always use picture profile 7. Ever since I got the Sony a7S II back in 2016, I tried to use the other color profiles, but I don't know, they just kind of wasn't doing it for me. But color profile 7 is definitely my go-to, especially when I was using that a7 III. The first thing I changed it to was the color profile 7. For my gamma, I always use S-Log 3. For the color mode, S-Gamut 3, the Sin mode, I definitely use that, and everything else in the settings I pretty much just keep the same. Anytime I kind of adjust the other ones, like the knee and all that, and saturation and stuff like that, it kind of like throws it off, so I never really mess with it. And the detail, I keep the sharpness regular. I don't change that at all, neither. So the next question I got was, what are your steps when I color my footage and favorite picture profiles? Well, I already answered that one in the first one. But the steps for me to color my footage, I can actually go in and actually show how I do it. So let's go ahead and jump into that right quick. All right, so first I want to start off my guy Propane. You know, me and him, we work a lot together, and I chose this in particular because I really like the way the colors came out on this. Well, first of all, I actually have color presets. They're cube files that I made, and I named each one. I named each LUT. Like, for example, I have the D-Baby one, the D-Baby LUT. I have the Kirko LUT. They're the main two that I use the most. Before that, I had one called the Blake LUT. Basically, I named my LUTs after the artists that I actually first saved the presets with. So it's like, oh man, I like the way this color came out. I'm gonna just name this the for example, Propane LUT, because you know that's the artist I first came up with the coloring scheme for. But anyway, so with this, usually when I shoot at night, or you know, just indoors where I have to use lighting or anything like that that's outside of like a outside sunny day, I use my Kirko LUT. Shout out Kirko Bangs, because I actually came up with this color system when I was doing his video that actually just dropped the other day. No calls, no close. As you can see, all I do is just drag and drop on the clip. And you know, of course, it doesn't look the way it was in the video. This is how it looks after I'm done with it, and this is pretty much how it looks when I first drop it on there. So a lot of times I like to I just play with the settings. For example, I bring my exposure down. You know, I like to bring out a nice contrast. Let's see, bring out my highlights, and I just like I said, I just kind of play around with it with the basic correction. You know, I kind of just bring up my little sharpness. Now, I can't say that I actually built these from scratch. I actually bought some LUTs maybe 3 years ago, back in 2017, I think. It's actually called a Tropic color. And I'll probably even leave a link down in the description also. But as you can see, all of these are from Tropic color. And what it is now, you can't just slap those on and just, you know, think it's gonna be colored. That's actually what I learned. I thought maybe if I bought those Tropic color LUTs that I would just be able to just slap it on and it'll be okay, but that's actually not the case. For example, let me see, I'm gonna go to the one that I like the most. For example, this one right here. Now, these are one of the LUTs. This is one of the LUTs that I actually use for my presets, but as you can see, it looks nothing like this. It looks nothing like that at all. I've done this maybe like 2 years ago, and it took a while to actually get the exact color that I like. I guess, for example, I guess I'll give a small rundown. Number one, if you use Premiere, I always go to the basic correction. And I always go to universal. Like, the footage is already flat, but I feel like I can't really bring out that real color unless I even bring it down even more flat. So this LUT in the basic correction, and it actually comes with Adobe Premiere. I use the universal, the SL profile LUT. And from there, like I said, I just play around with the warmness, the cool, the contrast, you know, and I really wish I knew exactly how I did it, but I actually don't remember. But you know what, let me see. I'm kind of just playing around right now. Well, you know what, I guess I'm kind of getting close to how I usually do it. You know, bring the curves up. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. So yeah, I apologize if I don't exactly remember completely how I got it the way I did. Like I said, I just play around with all the settings, until I eventually come up with a solid look that I like, and I just save the LUT. I just save it as a preset. And I guess that's kind of close to how it was. Let me see. Yeah, almost. So with that being said, I highly recommend buying Tropic color. I think they still sell these LUTs. Like I said, it's been about 2 or 3 years since I last bought them. Once you get those, you kind of just play around with the settings and see what works best for you. Okay, there we go. I think that's pretty close. All right, and before I wrap up, actually someone just sent me one last question. What computer would you recommend someone to buy for video editing, graphics, and music recording? Now, I don't know much about music, but I'm pretty sure video and graphics take up way more space, and probably is way more harder on a computer or a laptop than doing music would be. I just assume. So I'm just go ahead and let you know what I use. Since 2015, I've been using the Asus. I don't know how to pronounce it exactly, but the Asus brand of laptop is a gaming laptop. And I guess since it's a gaming laptop, it's supposed to handle like heavy graphics, heavy editing, and I just love it because I've edited Red footage. I've edited, like I said, just recently the Aria Alexa, and those Asus, those gaming laptops really can handle that footage. And I'm not saying you can just play it at full resolution without any type of lag or anything. In the playback screen, if you just cut it down to maybe like 1/2 or maybe like 1/4, it plays pretty smooth. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it definitely gets the job done. Now the one you see behind me, man, right there, is beautiful. This one is an Asus laptop. I got this last year. Let's see. I'm going to zoom in. I'm pretty sure there's like a newer version that you probably can get. Maybe even cheaper, I don't know. But yeah, it's a real good laptop. It's heavy duty. Bring it anywhere. Because me, I'm the type of person that's mainly on the go. You know, I travel a lot. You know, whether it's LA, Atlanta, or whether I'm just driving places and stuff like that. So I definitely like to have a laptop on hand. The graphics card is a NVIDIA. Let me see, GeForce RTX, and I have GTX also, but I heard that the RTX is better, and I guess so. My other Asus laptop is actually a GTX as well. You know, 32 gigabytes of RAM. That's pretty heavy duty. All right, so that about does it. You know, hopefully I answer y'all questions fully and to y'all satisfaction. If y'all want to hear more, just keep on sending, send me some DMs, send some stuff in the comments. Let me know what y'all might want to know or just pick my brain about. I'm down to answer. If I get enough questions, I'll make me another video for next week. Until then, keep enjoying my content, and I appreciate y'all. Y'all stay safe. Love.